Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here. I am up bright and early. It is currently 6:27 a.m. as I'm recording this video, but I woke up pretty excited because I knew that the night before, about 3 hours prior to when my usual alarm is set, that there was going to be an announcement for Final Fantasy XIV. Now, we were told from one of the Gamescom interviews that FanFest details would be unveiled if we waited a few days, and that the anniversary was right around the corner. So they basically told us we were going to be getting FanFest details when the anniversary hit, which, August 27th, here we are, and bam, announcing Final Fantasy XIV Fan Festival 2026. Now, this is always a really exciting time, or it has always been a really exciting time to get the Fan Fest announcements. That's when we start getting expansion details. That's when everyone gets to go and hang out with their friends at any of these live events. And we're just glad to know that it's not going to be Vegas in August, because that was a disaster from what I hear. That being said, there is obviously a current air over Final Fantasy XIV, and that air has not been helped today. There is some very rightful concern about the dates that were announced for the Final Fantasy XIV Fan Festival 2026. So here we have the Lodestone post. As you can see, 3:30 a.m. for this. The actual announcement happened at 3 a.m. Get ready to celebrate your love for Final Fantasy XIV with fellow Warriors of Light, because Fan Festival 2026 is coming to North America, Europe, and Japan. Now, it's interesting because we actually know that China and Korea will be on parity for 8.0. They will no longer be behind. They're barely behind right now. That means that, they're going to want news. They're going to want fan festivals. But Yoshi P also did say they weren't going to do 5 regions worth of fan festivals before FanFest came out. So it's likely that those regions will continue to get fan festivals, but that they just won't be expansion details, I suppose. The events will feature fun presentations and panels, immersive activities, unforgettable live concerts. Preparations are already underway in each region to make for an unforgettable experience, so mark your calendars and prepare to make memories that will last a lifetime. Okay, that's fine. It's all, usual PR stuff. Then you get to the dates, and that is something that many people will and have every right to be concerned about. Fan Festival 2026 will be in Anaheim. So that's going to be Friday, April 24th and Saturday, April 25th. I've been to the Anaheim Convention Center. I'm kind of glad. It is one of the locations I suspected they could pick. San Diego, as much as I would have liked it, harder to expect. But yeah, Anaheim, good idea. That's where WoW's held there. So they've held theirs in Anaheim plenty. Good reason. They're literally right next door. But I guess they're both kind of right next door. The North America Square Enix HQ isn't that far. For Berlin, for Fan Festival Europe, it's going to be in Berlin, Saturday, July 25th, and Sunday, July 26th. And in Tokyo, it's going to be Saturday, October 31st, and Sunday, November 1st. So, those are dates. So I had seen some people predicting the April date for FanFest. That is because of the usual announcement to first FanFest cadence not being this. I think it's usually 9 months or something in that kind. 8 or 9 months is the usual kind of like range for that. So getting the announcement August 27th, April is technically on pattern with that. That being said, when the announcement came out, is relatively off pattern. A lot of people were expecting one in July. They could have come earlier. I was expecting it here. I just wasn't expecting the 8 or 9 month. I didn't think they were going to go for that regard. And then about 6-ish total months between the entirety of the FanFest, like between 6-7 months. That's also on cadence. Problem is what an on cadence FanFest actually means. So the way that our patch cycle is currently operating, let me give you a bit of a history lesson. In patch 6.1, they announced they were going from 4 months to 4.5 months. What that actually meant was going from 17 weeks, which had been the rough going standard for quite a while at that point, to 19 weeks. So he added 2 weeks per patch. That has been the case through all of Endwalker. That has been the case through Dawn Trail thus far. There was a 20-week patch somewhere in Endwalker. It was either 0.2 or 0.3, but other than that, it's 19 weeks. So that automatically adds 2.5 months onto an expansion release. However, to be expected, they just, it ends up being 6 months total. So we went from a 2-year expansion cycle to a 2.5-year expansion cycle when it came to Dawn Trail. Well, I guess Endwalker and Dawn Trail, technically. So, okay. That's fine. That means generally we should be expecting an expansion if they keep to that exact same cadence, which is no reason to think that would have happened. Roughly an end of 2026. up to forgivably early 2027. They have done like November, December of an expansion. That's when Endwalker released. And that one did get delayed, but besides the point, it was still kind of end of the year. So one would have predicted, roughly a November, December release for 8.0. This throws a wrench in that, and a wrench that nobody wants. Nobody who's defending the game right now, nobody who's still enjoying the game right now, and nobody who doesn't want to enjoy the game right now. Nobody wants the implications of what these fan festivals mean unless there is some sort of massive, significant news that comes with it. Because with an October 31st fan festival in Japan, that would imply roughly, let's see, the last one was in January and then we released in July. So yeah, you have about a 6-month window there, which adds to May of 2027, if that's what's happening and it's staying on pattern, and that last fan fest isn't going to be like the super live letter, like if they decide not to do that. But that's concerning, because that would mean that 7.5, I'm gonna just quickly do this math here real quick. 7.4 in theory is supposed to come out December 17th. A lot of people think they're going to move it because there was a lot of negative feedback about Chaotic at its release window. Sorry, not 17th, 16th. But some people just they seem to imply that 7.4 may not come out until January. Again, that might be because of feedback. We don't know. They'll probably talk about it at the next live letter, whenever that ends up being. And then now let's say it's January 6th. So then let's add 19 weeks to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. May 19th would be when 7.5 would release. Now, 7.5 is going to be split into a bunch of different patches. We already know some of the contents. We know there's going to be another Fork Tower Magic. That's going to have 2 difficulties. Beastmaster is going to be around. Then there's going to be another Ultimate in that time. So there's a lot of promises of things that are going to happen in that patch cycle. That being said, that's a year. And nobody wants that. So there either needs to be a 7.6 or something in between there, or they need to be releasing in the end of 2026, and that the last FanFest being close to it is because they plan on rolling in a lot of changes, especially job-related ones, into the FanFest announcements. Nobody should expect that. Everyone should actually expect the worst in this case of a May 2027 expansion release for 8.0. And yeah, that's not good. There's no way to say it. It sucks that these announcements have to kind of come on the back foot of just a time where the game is obviously having it's very much its own issues. But it is what it is. I'm going to continue to cover it. That's not going to change, obviously. But nobody, like, people are going to be excited to go. Some people aren't even considering the dates and what they could mean for the potential for, expansion windows and whatnot. But be, definitely have give the rock eyebrow. Let's go with the rock eyebrow at those days. Just be like this, and probably maintain it until we have more information, because it is definitely concerning from a pattern standpoint. And that's the problem. They give us a pattern. We got to go based on the pattern. And FanFest pattern is that 6 months after the last FanFest is when expansion releases. So, yeah, that's not good. That's not good. And I know people are going to wait, like, what's Harry going to say about this? I'm going to say it's not good. This is not what I'm going to say. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll have more information. If they see a lot of concern about it on social media, maybe they'll say something a little bit early. Excuse me, a little bit early. I should really have drank some water before this. But it's not good. The community perception is going to be not good. And they need to be prepared for that. Because it's funny because it comes with, there's an announcement video where they showed the dates. And, obviously it's got a bunch of PR, like, thank you for your support. We hope you'll continue to support. That's going to be a rough video. This is a good reason comments turned off on most of Final Fantasy XIV's videos for the last, 10 years. So that one's definitely one that's going to need it. But also an interesting statement in that video. Yoshi P said that they have major updates planned that they will roll out at a whirlwind pace. It's hard to believe that right now. I don't think anyone's going to take that statement at face value right now. It's a question of, I guess, the cadence of things that are releasing in 8.0. And there's just a big emphasis on major plans for the future. And now that, of course, statement's going to mean, is there an engine update, character creator update, like what's happening there? And the thing is like, nobody's wrong for going like, I'll believe it when I see it. Because they haven't said anything yet, and B, A, they haven't said anything yet, and B, what is your whirlwind pace? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe whirlwind pace was just a hint that 8.0 is going to be revisiting lore from the Calamity of Wind. I don't know. But yeah, everyone's going to stay, expect a lot of pessimism around it. It's not unfounded. And I mean, look at these dates right in front of you. Anyway, I can only say that so many times, so I'm going to wrap this video. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll keep you up to date on everything you need, as I always have, and as I will continue to do. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. And until then, take care.